When she was moved from the couch, her skin peeled away from her bones. Oh my God. Oh my God. What in the world? What in the world? They got to be labeled the worst parents ever.
Cause no one makes me feel the way you do. The way you turn me on. Kiss me, babe, I want you to. My lonely days.
Good peoples, what's going on with you? Welcome to another vlog. Yeah, y'all, welcome back. Well, y'all, I want to go on ahead and jump into it because why not? I want to get into this story, but first of all, please excuse the noise that you may hear because y'all know I got my other bestie right here, my heater, because you know your girl don't like to be cold. Okay, I like my feet and whatnot to be cold, so that's the noise that you may hear in the background. Okay, now let's get into this story, child. One of you all mentioned that it was time for a story time. This was a few vlogs back. And yeah, it is time. But today, it ain't gonna be no story about me, Silk, none of that, none of my family members. This is a story that my mama was telling me about. I think it was on Saturday. And when she started telling me, I said, it sounded a little familiar, but the more details she gave me, I was like, yeah, child, I ain't heard nothing about that. So after I hung up with her, I went to YouTube and put in Lacey Fletcher. Now, I don't know if y'all heard about this young lady or not, but let me tell you, I went down a rabbit hole and found some stuff, okay? Watched a few shorts on YouTube, got a little information, then I went on the internet and just Googled her, and all the things came up, child. So, let's go on ahead and get into it. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to just read to y'all one of the articles that I found or whatever, instead of me trying to, remember everything verbatim, because y'all already know the way my memory's set up. You already know. All right, so let's get into it. This is the case of Lacey Fletcher, the girl who was left to rot on her couch for 12 years. 12 years. That is diabolical. Whew, child. Let's just start here. This Louisiana woman fused to a couch after she sat in the same spot for 12 years, child. On the 3rd of January 2022 at around 2 a.m., the emergency services received a phone call from a distressed parent. They had just found their 36-year-old daughter, Lacey Fletcher, unresponsive on the family couch. When the emergency services arrived at the household in Slaughter, Louisiana. Slaughter, Louisiana. The irony where they found her being Slaughter, Louisiana. Anyways, they discovered the horrifying reality of Lacey Fletcher's fate. She had not simply died on the couch, child. She had rotted and melted so badly that her skin had fused with the leather material. My Lord. All right, let's get into who Lacey Fletcher was. Lacey Fletcher was born on the 25th of November, 1985 to parents Clay and Sheila Fletcher. As a child, Lacey was described as a vibrant, smart, and fun girl who was maybe a little immature for her age at times. But aren't we all? Because, I mean, I can be. Anyways. She enjoyed hanging out with her friends, loved the music of Mariah Carey, favored Disney movies, and was even part of the Brownsville Baptist Academy volleyball team, child. However, as she transitioned into adolescence, she began to encounter numerous problems. According to her father, Lacey was fine up until she was in the 9th grade, child. And then she began to develop serious social anxiety disorder, all right? Asperger's and an array of debilitating phobias. One such phobia caused her to fear using a toilet, as she once saw a snake in the toilet on TV. My Lord. At the age of 15, Lacey was diagnosed with a social anxiety disorder and autism spectrum disorder. It said that Lacey received psychological treatment for her mental state, but the length of time varies from source to source. Don't nobody know, child. Even my parents don't know. That's sad. Regardless of how long she was treated, one day Lacey never returned to the doctor. The last sighting of Lacey was by a neighbor when Lacey was 21 years old. 21, and when they found her, she was 36. That's a scandalous and a shame. She was seen walking outdoors with a dumbbell in each hand. Then suddenly, Lacey just dropped off the face of the earth. Ain't nobody seen Lacey, child. Ain't anybody heard the hide nor hair of Lacey, okay? Now, let's get into the murder of Lacey Fletcher, all right? I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but if you have kids that's in the room, you might want to ask them to leave, okay? I don't know what's what's a good age for them to be in the room from what I'm fixing to be talking about, because the next few the next part of this video is going to be very graphic about Lacey. It's going to get quite graphic. So you might want to actually cheer in the lead, especially if they small. If they real small, they don't need to hit it. So, okay? Because y'all might be like, why is Tiff telling us this? Because I really wanted to share it. I really did. All right, so let's talk about what happened to Lacey, right? When the emergency services spoke to Sheila Fletcher on the phone, that's Lacey's mama, she told them that her daughter was not breathing. When she asked about her daughter's age, she incorrectly guessed 3 times. Now, how your mama don't know how old you are? Are you kidding me? She guessed? You didn't know how old the child was? Child, the lady finally settled on 31 and she was still wrong. Lord have mercy. The child was 36. Lacey Fletcher was discovered on a brown leather couch with her legs crossed beneath her and her eyes and mouth wide open. She had no clothes on from the waist down, and her shirt was pulled up over her torso, up around her neck, okay, so to reveal her girl. Like, why was she in that state? It got worse now. It's going to get worse. Not only did she have a horrifying look on her face, Lacey's skin had literally fused to the material of the couch. Child, the girl is stuck to the couch. Like, she literally became one with the couch. My Lord. Now, you might ask, how is that even possible, child? If somebody leave you sitting on the couch for 12 years, it's possible. According to her daddy, Lacey never moved not 1 inch from that very spot on that couch. She sat, like, let's say I'm here, she sat in this same spot for 12 years, did not move. My thing is, did she not lay down? Did she not lean over? That one spot for 12 years. That is insane. Oh, not only had Lacey literally melted into the couch, child, she had been sitting on for over a decade. But her body was emaciated and smeared in fecal matter. Lord have mercy. Feces was all around her mouth. I'm sorry, it was found in her mouth. Oh my goodness. It was on her face, y'all, and even in this child's ears. Come on, mommy and daddy, what y'all doing? I ain't even, never mind. Let's not even think about what y'all doing. What y'all not doing? Why y'all not taking care of this girl? Oh my goodness. Nobody deserves that. Nobody. Her body was so malnourished that she weighed only 96 pounds when they found her, y'all. My goodness. When she was moved from the couch, her skin peeled away from her bones. Oh my God. Oh my God. What in the world? What in the world? They got to be labeled the worst parents ever. There were scratch marks found on the arm of the couch, along with an unused toilet and a table which contained items such as wipes, talcum powder, and various other ointments. The stench in the house. Now, I did hear that on a short that I watched on YouTube, where a sheriff said when he went in there, the smell in the house was unbearable. But besides, like, just that area though, like the couch where she had been, they say basically the rest of the house was very clean and tidy. But you just... Never mind. The autopsy report contained even more gruesome details of how Lacey Fletcher met such a grisly and undignified end, child. Undignified is an understatement in my opinion. The coroner who examined Lacey Fletcher's body, E. Burkham, how about that? Detailed that the official cause of Lacey's death was sepsis. Her official time of death was 3:07 a.m. on January the 3rd. Now, this is 2022. Now, from what I saw, it also said that even though they put that as her official date, the coroner said it seemed like homegirl had been gone, had passed away at least 24 to 48 hours before her mom and them even called 911 to come get her. Neglect is an understatement, okay? Burkham's examination revealed that Lacey had suffered from starvation, a bone infection, COVID-19, child, kidney failure, and stage 4 decubitus ulcers. Basically, her body was covered in sores. Her body was basically covered in bed sores. Like, the bed sores just ate her body up, just ravaged her body. Oh my God. And y'all, the ulcers also contain live maggots. Lord have mercy, Jesus, on this child. Her hair was also swarming with them maggots, y'all. Her hair was so matted that a scalpel was needed to cut it from her head. It's almost that you can't even wrap your brain around what she went through. The fact that she had spent that much time in that one spot, her tailbone had flattened. I'm sure it had, because they left the child on there for 12 years and did not move? I just don't even understand. Her mama claimed that Lacey had eaten a sandwich and half a bag of Cheetos, child, the night before and was alive at 10 p.m. when Sheila went to bed. Now, her mama know that ain't true. Hey, Pumpkin. Cameron just got home from school, y'all. I got you, Cameron. You have a good day? You not gonna speak?
Hey.
Oh, wow, so dry. Okay, so her mama had said that she had ate a sandwich and a half a bag of Cheetos the night before and was alive at 10 when Sheila went to bed. You know that child went alive. You know she ain't ate that. Why you just telling tales? No, she told a lie. Anyways, but the autopsy revealed that Lacey's stomach, inside her stomach, there were contents from the foam, from the couch foam. The child had been eating the couch, like the foam was inside of her stomach. And also feces. The state of Lacey's body is just, I mean, it's horrendous. It's hard to believe that somebody would, you know, do their very own child, their own flesh and blood. Be your own people's. This is, if it be your own people's was two people. If it be your own people was a duo, Clay and Sheila, you ought to be ashamed of. She need to be housewhipped. Anyways, oh my goodness, child, she. Oh my God, it's hard. Like, how could she have lived, you know, as long as she did, with, you know, with all them injuries and stuff? Like, it's sad. But the crazy part is that they said that, you know, with her flesh rotting, like with the, you know, with the maggots on her, that was kind of keeping her alive. Ain't that crazy? Like, you know, the things that was crawling on her, I hate to say that word because it just don't, yeah. The things that was feeding on her rotten flesh, it was keeping her alive because they want and they need like decaying meat. And Lacey was like a feeding ground for them, child, because her mom and her daddy. Ooh, her mom and her daddy. You would just say the people that brought her into this world, because they was, yeah, anyway. So for 12 years, child, that's 4,383 days it is. 4,383 days, okay? Lacey Fletcher was left to rot and die in her own filth while her decaying flesh was being eaten alive by, y'all, I already said it. Excuse me. It was and still is wondered how Clay and Sheila could have idly. How y'all just sat by and watched that? They went on vacations and left the child at home by herself over the weekend. Like, however long they was gone, they would just leave her in there. The dining room, from what I saw, was in some of these shorts on YouTube where the dining room was like right near where she was. Y'all just sitting in there chewing and carrying on while she in there. And the smell, how y'all tolerating it? Like, I just don't understand. Oh my God. It's clear to me that some people's elevator just don't even move, okay? Lord have mercy. All right, where was I? Clay and Sheila, yeah, how could y'all just watch the child just fade away, basically, you know? Clay, 65, Sheila, 64, were arrested on January 3rd, 2023 on charges of second-degree murder. Questioning of Clay and Sheila continued on January 18th when Sheila discussed how Lacey had seen a psychologist back in 2000 when she was around 14. According to the Fletchers, the reason why Lacey never returned to the doctor for continued help, though, was because Lacey refused. I'm confused. Lacey refused and I'm confused. Because what? Her father claimed that since Lacey was legally an adult, she was able to make her own medical decisions. But clearly y'all said she had something going on. So when do y'all step in as her parents and her caregivers, people that's supposed to care about her, and say, no, you need to go to the doctor because, you know, let's make sure you okay. Like, what's wrong with them that they didn't do that? They claim Lacey had begun like urinating and just defecating on the living room floor and refused to return to the doctor for help. So Clay and Sheila returned to the doctor without Lacey to let him know of her, you know, tell him about her behavior and whatnot. But the doctor really urged them to admit Lacey to a mental health facility, child. You know, and gave them the information that they needed, and you know what's the best way to go about doing it. Lacey was never admitted to any facility, nor did she ever see another doctor again, okay? Because her parents was doing her in. Clay Fletcher stated that once in 2007, Lacey managed to dress herself while her mama was out of town. Oh, okay, y'all don't believe that. He claimed this proved that she had the mental capacity to make conscious decisions and that they didn't have the right to choose otherwise on her behalf. Child. Excuses. The reason they claim Lacey never left the couch was due to her forming agoraphobia a phobia that became so severe that anything outside the perimeter of the couch was considered outside. Agoraphobia, if y'all don't know, it means people are afraid. They have a fear of going outside, like they want to stay in the house. Her, supposedly what they're saying, as long as she didn't get off that couch, she was fine. So her fear came in. She didn't want to get off that couch. Basically, she didn't want to stay there. Allegedly, that's what her pappy say. Allegedly. Anyways, Lacey's father. Wait a minute, I missed the part. One moment. The reason they say okay, yeah. So it say her phobia became so severe that anything outside the perimeter of the couch was considered outside. During her mama's testimony, she stated that she did not recognize the severity of Lacey's condition and that Lacey had never communicated that she was in any pain. Child, bye. Lacey's father made this statement. Looking back, there are many things we would do differently. Of course it is now because you got caught. Child, please. With hindsight being 20/20, it is clear now, despite her resistance to assistance, our love for her, love, if that's love, don't love me. Our love for her was unwavering and we never wanted her to die. Then what did you want her to do then? Because you left her on that couch for 12 years and you didn't try to get her no help to get her up off of there. So what did you want her to do? Child, bye. All right, however, so is many they got a lot of theories out there as to excuse me, why Lacey was unable to move from the couch and whatnot. The first theory is that she had locked-in syndrome, and locked-in syndrome is basically like being unable to move. Like you are aware of everything that's going on around you, but you can't move. Like you can't talk, you can't do anything. If you got an itch, you can't scratch it. If you got a pain, you can't do nothing about it. You just gotta basically deal with it, you know. So let me see here. Let me make sure I told y'all right. Yeah, unable to move due to this rare but real syndrome that cases full body paralysis. So that's one of the things they say she had. The affected person cannot move any part of their body apart from their eyes, although they still have full cognitive control. However, Dr. Burkham challenged this theory due to the foam, due to the couch foam that was found in her stomach. Right, because how did she get the foam in her stomach? Was y'all feeding it to her? Was y'all giving it to her? Come on now. If she had locked-in syndrome, then from what I saw that they're trying to say is that Lacey, that child got hungry, and so she was eating the foam from the couch. Child, back. The second theory alleges that Lacey was physically retrained during her teenage years and early 20s, which could result in muscle atrophy, making her unable to move. Thirdly, some people believe Lacey's severe psychological and emotional symptoms were so crippling they left her immobile. If they was left her immobile, then her parents still should have helped her get off that couch. They still should have made sure that they sanitized her body and took care of her like they were supposed to. Feed her, clothe her, bathe her, all of that. Make sure she all right. Take her to the doctor. You know, help the child out. Like if she's got a disability, that's what y'all are there for. You are parents. You are there. When you decide to have kids, you basically sign on to be a caregiver if something is going on with your child. Like, I don't know. Okay. Thirdly, some people believe Lacey's severe psychological and emotional symptoms. I just read that. The fourth and final theory, which is one both Clay and Sheila defend, they defend it, but is that Lacey simply chose to never move from the same spot for 12 years, which I just refuse to believe that. I really do. Regardless of their theories mentioned above, Clay and Sheila Fletcher had a responsibility, right, to help their daughter who was clearly suffering mentally and physically. They had a responsibility to that child, okay? Lacey sat in a crater on a brown leather couch in their home filled with 12 years of excrement. Oh my God. She suffered from ulcers, so infected, had infested the things or whatever, had infested her wounds, literally eating her alive. It shouldn't matter if Lacey refused the help. They had an obligation, y'all, as parents, okay? And as parents and caregivers. That's what I just see. They said that as caregivers to step in and help her do what they were supposed to do. Who it seems was clearly unable to make sound decisions about her health. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, Lacey, it was their responsibility to help her out because it's clearly she was unable to make decisions about her health. So your parents, y'all should have stepped in and did all right, but y'all didn't. Oh, anyways, I'm going to bring this to a close because, child, like, Her parents were sentenced to 20 years, I think it was, and I think that ain't long enough. Cameron, you my light, sweetheart. You gotta, yeah, there you go. That's okay. The prosecution, I ain't even got to say the prosecution presented, ma'am, thank you. The prosecution presented hours of detailed and gruesome testimony, and yeah, they were sentenced to, wait a minute, Clay and Sheila Fletcher were both sentenced on March 20th, 2024 to 40 years in prison.
To do so. We heard from multiple expert witnesses who were there the day Lacey was found melted into her parents' living room couch. They described it as one of the worst cases, if not the worst case, of human neglect they've ever worked in their entire career. Prosecutors were hoping to get the maximum sentence of 40 years on the charges of manslaughter. The judge ended up handing down half of that with 5 years of supervised probation after they have both served their sentence. When asked why they didn't get Lacey the help that she needed for so long, her mother said it was because she didn't believe anyone could care for her daughter better than her own mother.
In prison with 20 of those years suspended. Child suspended. Okay, whatever. The whole situation is sad. It really is. And I also saw this one clip where there was a friend that the mama had been friends with for 25 years, y'all. 25 years. Do y'all know this lady said she never even knew they had a child? Like, so they just ain't mention her? Oh my goodness. I'm just, child, my flabber is gasted, okay? To say the least, my flabber is gasted. I would never, like, I said it in one of my blogs about the Ruby Frankie situation. If you're not going to do right by them, give them to somebody who's going to do right by them. Don't, like, this world, my goodness, they got to go down in the Guinness Book of World Records of, like, the worst parents, because how you let that child sit on that couch for 12 years and rot and die? It's sad. Like, the child was fused. She became one with the couch. Well, that's the end of it, child. That's the end. And that's just the meat and potatoes of it. It's a lot more, but I'm not going to go into it. I just wanted to give y'all that, because that right there alone was a lot, you know. It really was. And that's about all I got to give you, child. I really wanted to share that story with you. And I'm going to go now, because I just started looking at the stuff, and I said, well, let me go on ahead and share it while it's still fresh and whatnot. So I'm going to go on ahead and close this out so I can edit it and get it out for y'all for the next vlog and stuff, okay? All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. Maybe next time I do a story time, it'll actually be something about me, okay? I don't know, child. But anyways, y'all already know what I'm about to say. Like, wait, before I end this, let me know if y'all heard about this story down in the comments. Let me know if you heard about Lacey and stuff, okay? All right, but anyways, y'all already know what I'm about to say. Like always, all good things come to an end. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. Y'all make sure you subscribe with your bells turned on, because there's always more to come. And I think that's all I need to say to y'all. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, now, y'all be blessed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next one. What? We'll see y'all in the next one. Oh, because Cameron threw me off with bouncing that basketball. I'm going to tell her, stop bouncing that ball.
It's just basketball, Mom.
Yeah, I don't care, but it's a phone. But once if you stop bouncing it in here before you knock something over by accident, then I'm about to do something to you on purpose. All right, now, y'all be blessed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, bye now. Love you.
He asked what could he do for me. I told him that my love is free. But can you match me? I can do it.